let's go right into some of the questions that I am rolling out for us. So this month, Tales of Symphonia is coming out on February 17th. But me, Jeremy, not really a huge Tales fan. Like a huge Tales fan, let me tell you.
Yeah.
It's not excited. It's not excited by it.
Really?
Yeah. Why am I
And
not?
why is that?
Why is that? Well, first off, you, Brian Foster, has kind of dipped your toe into the Tales. If people have watched the video of your experience with Berseria, and you said that you have a Rise in your chamber too, I believe.
Yeah, I also play Zestria.
And
So
Zestra too. That it does dip your curiosity to try some of the classic ones. So I do recommend playing Symphonia because I think that if you have played RPG games most of your life through the generations, this is easy to go back and play because you already kind of gone through the struggle, so you kind of already know. But for new gamers, you must be prepared because there's a lot. These old RPGs have different sets of rules compared to new RPGs, and what I mean is, it's not as easier in the more experience of like there's no fast travel. Leveling up, it's a grind. These are grindy games and all
yeah.
that. Very sometimes the characters can be cookie cutter.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
you can call it not optimized. That's what
Sure,
that's what it is nowadays. Like
sure.
the constant checkpoints and things like that. So you die and you don't lose like 3 hours of progress. So
Exactly. Like
yeah.
you have to find a save point. You can't just stop. Now
Mm.
some games have temporary save points, like out in the land or something like that. But next time you come back in, it's erased, and you have to
Yeah.
do another one. But anyway, why am I not excited for this? Okay, so I have Tales of Symphonia on GameCube. I have the anniversary collection on the PS3 with the sequel of Tales of Symphonia, and through and a couple years ago, Tales of Vesperia has came out, and it got a remastered and everything like this. I look at Tales of Symphonia as this game is supposed to be one of the most iconic games in the series of the Tales, right? Like anybody that talks to you about what's their favorite Tales game or what's their first Tales game, Symphonia is top tier. It's probably number one on everybody's chart. This is the first Tales I ever played, ever.
Yeah.
Before Abyss came and all these other series. And I guess I think I wanted this game to be treated a little bit more special. I don't think it's going to be treated bad. I mean, I think you're taking the PS3 port and then they're just kind of cleaning it up a little bit more for this new generation, which is coming out on everything. But I think with
Oh,
so many ports, oh, you thought it was Switch only?
yeah, I thought it was Switch
Oh no,
only.
yeah, it's coming out for PS4, PS, and Xbox. Um, but for a game like this, I guess I really wanted a full remake. Maybe that's what the selfish in me wanted after
Mm.
this iconic game that everybody loves so much. I wanted this to be more polished, more smoother, and maybe that could be because our conversation off air, Metroid Prime came out and it got this wonderful. You could argue it almost feels like a remake than a remaster. But I feel like Tales of Symphonia, I think I wanted that more love from Namco Bandai to do this with Tales. So that's just really my opinion. Now, do I recommend people still get it? Hell yeah. Go get it. Have fun. It's great. I don't think it's for me. I think maybe I'm just fine with the
Yeah,
PS3 edition.
you already have it. So
Yeah. Now, if I'm just like having a lazy day and I'm like, you know what, I don't feel like pulling out the PS3 to play this game. Maybe it's on a sale. I might pick it up for the hell of it because maybe the plus side of it is it might run smoother in the frame rate, might run a lot better, maybe 60 frames. Not saying it doesn't. I'm just putting it out there. There could be some reason for it, but you will also think, hey, since Symphonia is coming out for this, why not the sequel too? Like, why don't you bundle it together and do that again, like the PS3 edition? You know, but
who makes these games? The Tales games.
so it's actually a studio, Tales of, and that's the name of the studios. So they're
Oh,
like a studio dedicated to doing the Tales, and they're under the publishers, Namco Bandai.
Bamco.
Yeah.
I
So
call them Bamco.
what's your thoughts on this? Do you think a game like this that been ported or that old deserve and is most well talked about? Do you think this game deserves a remake, or you think like what, this is fine because there's other Tales games, but this one is fine for what it is.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is biased opinion, obviously, but Tales, since it's one of the ones that everybody talks about, yeah, of course, I think it deserves a remake. But there's a lot of games that I agree, like say, what is the name of that game? It's the game I want the remake of the most.
Legend
Tales
of
of
Dragoon.
Dragoon.
Yeah.
Legend of Dragoon.
Mm.
Those are some of the niche games that I believe they need to remake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I feel kind of like the movies do. It's like I don't think they need to remake the better movies. They need to remake the ones that were not good movies, but they had a decent story. They just need to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to do that with RPGs too. There are some RPGs out there that probably had like a good system, but the story was a little lacking, or the story was good, but the battle system was lacking, or something like that. I think they need to do those more. That's my opinion.
Okay.
But there are some good games that they should definitely bring back. Tales, yeah, of course, Legend of Dragoon. I think that the Legend of Legaia series. This is a series that's probably niche. I think they need to bring that back.
Yeah, it ended on the PS2. It never continued, and I don't know if that studio particularly was shut down or defunct. I really don't know about their story. But there's some old PlayStation catalog of games like Wild Arms. I think Wild Arms got a remake on the PS2 era of the first one, but we never got any more into that entry and whatnot. And yeah, I think it's at a decent price. I think people should still play it. I think people will enjoy it. It's a really good story for what it is. I like the twist in the middle of it. Brian, I definitely recommend you picking it up if you can find it on a good sell.
How much are they starting it out for?
You might have to look it up. I want to say it's definitely not a $70 game. I want to argue maybe like 50, maybe 40, maybe less. But I would argue it's probably around like that price because there's no way that game should be like $70. Especially like if this is going to be a PS5 game too. It's like it's a little steep for a PS5 game. So, but yeah. So those are basically my thoughts on there because I know a lot of people are screaming at the window of like, how about Chrono Trigger? One of the most iconic ones. Maybe it doesn't deserve like a HD 2D treatment or a full remake like a 7. I don't know. I really don't know. I'll tell you one game I think it deserved a remake in my opinion. It could be a hot take. I think Chrono Cross deserved it better than this remastered because Chrono Cross has the potential to be a beautiful game in a remake based on how colorful it is, the tropicalness and everything like that. But the remaster kind of felt like a waste of time because they didn't put a lot of love into that other than like the fights are a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
And then the texture's a little bit better, but it's like Square Enix has not proved to me yet on caring about the titles that don't do the best.
No, they do not. They're trying to do the Ubisoft games as a service to make a lot of money without doing much work. Yes. And they really need to stop doing that because they can't do it. They've proven they can't do it like over 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah.
So they can stop, but they probably won't.